Russ. Yep, I'm back out on the road again. This is going to be a hot day today. It's going to be in the low 90s. So I figure I better get a head start on everything. It's about 6:36 in the morning. And yeah, I've already done my morning routines. I've watered the grass and gotten everything ready. And so I'm back on the road. So where are we going today? Well, I'm just going to ride the neighborhoods. Yeah, ride the neighborhoods, see what's out there. Nowhere in particular. Now here's a interesting announcement. I was thinking about all the bikes that are expected to be coming in very shortly for reviews. And these are bikes that will probably be coming in July and sometime in the end of August. So yeah, I'm running out of space, quite frankly. I don't have any place to put things. Bikes are starting to stack up. So I made the decision that I'm going to sell off one of my bikes. Yeah, it's hard to get rid of something that you don't really want to get rid of. You know, I've gone through this before with my guitars. Yeah, if you're a guitar player, you know what I'm talking about. You know, we buy a guitar and then we sell a guitar, and then we buy a guitar and then we sell a guitar. I think I've gone through about 40 guitars in my lifetime between electrics and acoustic guitars. So yeah, it looks like we're going to end up having to do that with bikes eventually. But the new bikes that are coming in are bikes that I'm going to hang on to for a while because I've got to do my reviews, but I hope to ride them for a while too before I do anything else with them. So the most logical one to remove at this point would be the oldest bike, which would be the Rad Rover 5. Yeah. I'm kind of sad to see that one go, but I know it's time to do it. And the reason is because the Rad Rover 5 and this Magicycle Cruiser that I'm riding right now have a lot of similarities to it. But I've gotten accustomed to the Magicycle Cruiser, and the Cruiser's been updated. You know, it's got hydraulic brakes on it now, and it's got you know, a 15 amp hour battery, but I'm expecting another battery to come in. I'm thinking it's coming in about 2 or 3 days, I think. You know, the thing is, when FedEx sends you something, you know, something comes in from FedEx, it doesn't tell you where it's coming from. It just tells you the location it's coming from. And based on the city that it said it's coming from, I think that's the Magicycle shipping location. It doesn't tell me who's shipping it either. So I don't know. And then I took a look at the weight. And the weight said 8 pounds. So that is a rolling stop, by the way. I went ahead and I measured the weight of my current 15 amp hour battery. It says 9 pounds. So it could be a discrepancy in the weighing system from FedEx and, of course, my own weight system. It could be the same thing. But I had asked Magicycle, I said, you know, if I have a choice between a 15 amp hour and the new 20 amp hour battery, I'd prefer the 20 amp hour battery, of course. I don't know whether they're shipping me the 15 or the 20. He told me that I could choose what I'd like, but I don't know whether the 20 amp hour battery is actually here in the US yet. So it could very well be the 15 amp hour battery. Now, if it is the 15 amp hour battery, that would give me a total of 30 amp hours on this bike. And as we know, the Magicycle eats up more power than the Rad Rover, which means I would have less range. So I kept thinking over this and I said, okay, the Rad Rover currently has 40 amp hours because I have 2 batteries there. And if this one only gives me 30, I'm not going to have the range I need to get to the Botanic Gardens. Now, if they do give me the 20, that will give me 35 amp hours, still 5 amp hours short of the 40 from the Rad Rover. And as we said, the Magicycle Cruiser tends to eat up more battery than the Rad Rover because it's a more powerful motor. And then when you throttle and things, that just eats up even more. So I have to test it. I have to test to see how far can I really go with those two batteries, the 15 and the 20, if it is a 20 coming in. If the total range gives me at least 70 miles of range, I'll sell off the Rad Rover. If the two combined do not give me 70 miles of range, then I will have to seriously think about whether I want to sell off the Rad Rover. So, yeah, it's going to take a couple weeks to make that final decision, but I figure I'd throw it out there now to let you know that the Rad Rover might be history with me. Now, you might know too that the Rad Rover that I have has been modified. I changed the wiring on this bike. Now, it's not like you can't go back to the original wiring, because you can. I still have the cradle for the original battery. I don't have the original battery, of course. I sold that, but you can buy one if you wanted to do that. But quite frankly, I don't know why you would do it. The Rad Rover battery is 48 volts, 14 amp hours. I now have a 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery in the Triangle right now. So you've got a lot more range, a lot more power with it. So anyways, but if somebody wanted to purchase the Rad Rover 5 and wanted to convert it back, you can do it. All right. Now, you could also do this. You could put the original Rad Rover battery back, if you bought a Rad Rover battery, and then put the Triangle battery on the rear rack, which would give you 14 amp hours from the original, and then another 20 on the other battery. Give you more range that way. And then if you don't want it to have a Triangle in there, you'd have the regular Rad battery back in there again with the original cradle that holds the battery. So why am I telling you all this? Well, gotta sell it to somebody. So I figured I'd let you guys have first shot at it. Now, the only thing is, I cannot ship this bike. You're gonna have to be local. So we're talking northwest suburbs of Chicago. So if you or a friend of yours might be interested in the Rad Rover 5 that I have, contact me. All right? Let me know your interest, and then we'll see if we can make some type of arrangement for it. So how's the condition of the Rad Rover 5? Well, overall in pretty decent condition. It's got 3,000 or so miles on it right now, and obviously I take care of all my e-bikes. I don't abuse them. So here's what's going to be coming on this Rad Rover 5. I'm going to remove some things out of it, obviously. I've got that thing loaded down with a lot of stuff. But here's what the Rad Rover 5 has. It's got a front basket, okay? It's got the rear rack, all right? I may throw in the pannier. I'm not really sure. I may need it, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to remove certain things from it. I have an external light. I'm going to remove that. I have a cell phone mount. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to need them for other bikes, so that's why I have to take them off. I have a handlebar extension. I'm going to remove that. All right. I have the Bluetooth speaker. I'm going to remove that. I have a rear tail light external. I'm going to remove that. So essentially, you're going to have a stock-looking Rad Rover 5 with a front basket and a rear basket with a Triangle battery from Unit Pack Power, 52 volts, 20 amp hours on it. Okay. And then I'll price it with that. So essentially the stock Rad Rover with the two racks and replacing its stock battery with the Triangle battery. And of course a charger for that battery. And then I'll price it, if you want the second Triangle battery, which you can strap onto the rear rack of your bike, I will price it with that battery as well as an option. If you don't want it, you don't need it, you don't have to take it. Quite frankly, I hope you do take it, because I won't know what to do with it if you don't take it. So I'll price that, attractively. Haven't determined the prices yet, but it'll be well worth it. It'll be a lot cheaper than buying a current Rad Rover 6. Let's put it that way. So yeah, if you're interested, or you know of anyone that's interested in a Rad Rover 5 that's been modified with bigger battery, let me know. Okay, so here's how you need to let me know. Don't put it in the comments. Send me an email. Okay, and you can always see my email address on the business contact on the main page of the YouTube page. But I'll tell you what it is. It's contactrussisright@gmail.com. It is not russisright@gmail.com. Do not send it there. All right, people do that. That's somebody else's address. Because somebody else has that address, I had to put the word contact in there as well. So it's one long word, contactrussisright@gmail.com. All right, send me an inquiry if you're interested in the bike, and then I will get back in contact with you and let you know what the price is and all that kind of stuff. But again, you will have to pick this up in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I won't mention it here, but I will send you an email as where you will have to go pick it up. All right. And I found that the best way to do these things is right in front of the local police department. Yeah, that's the safest place actually to do any type of online transactions. And our local police department has an area specifically for that purpose, so that they monitor that, so they can see what's going on out there. It's right in front of their building, so they can't really miss it. And so we will meet there, but it is in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, so you need to be able to pick it up and be able to transport it. Now, this is a big bike. I'm telling you that right now. It's not small. You're going to need a pickup truck, or if you have a bike rack, it's going to have to be an e-bike rack to do this one. This is a heavy bike. It's not lightweight, and especially with the battery on there, it adds weight. So how heavy is this bike? Well, I think the published weight of the bike was 67 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And then, of course, you got the weight of the rack, the two racks, and then the weight of the battery. So I think the 67 pounds included the Rad battery, but the triangle batteries are a lot heavier. So if I had to guess, let's say 5 pounds for the two racks. What would that bring that to? That'd be like 72 pounds, something like that. Add in the battery. Let's say the battery's an extra, let's say even 10 pounds. We're talking about at least an 82 to 85 pound bike, something like that. So if you plan to transport it with the regular bike rack, don't bother. You'll probably have problems. It'll probably fall off your rack. Okay, you got to have a hitch with an e-bike rack on there, otherwise it's not going to handle it. Best thing really is a pickup truck. Yeah, or if you have a SUV, it's a long bike. It's just like any other bike. If you're going to place it inside an SUV, you better make sure that thing folds down totally. Like your rear seats and everything like that. But I think it would be a tight squeeze if you did it that way. Might not be able to do it. So anyways, think it over. Contact me with email if you're interested. Now, I have a friend who said he was interested in buying one of my e-bikes eventually if it came available, but he prefers a step-thru model. This is not a step-thru model. This is definitely a step-over model. So yeah, I don't think it's suited for him. Oh, one more thing it does have too, just to let you know. It does have hydraulic brake calipers. Okay, it's not a full hydraulic brake, but it is a hydraulic brake caliper on there. So you have the standard cables, but the brake mechanism itself is actually hydraulic. And that's made by Juintech. Juintech. It's called the Juintech M1s. It's branded Bolton e-bikes though. So just so that you know that it has a different brand name on there, but you know, when Bolton was selling these Juintex, he had them rebrand it under his own company name. But as we know, Bolton has changed their company name to Area 1 or Area 13, sorry. So yeah, so it's got a little bit better brakes on it. It's not as good as the hydraulics, you know, full hydraulics obviously, but better than a standard mechanical brake. All right. Okay, so where are we? I was just riding for the sake of riding as I'm telling you all this stuff. You know, of course, if you're not interested in buying the bike, probably didn't mean anything to you, so sorry about that. But I figured that was the easiest way to get the word out. I was heading in the same direction I typically do when I go to Bussy Woods, but I figured I'd ride this neighborhood. I'm sorry for the sun glaring into the camera, because I realize that's not going to look good, but we have to go in this direction, and then we'll head back in the other direction. So yeah, I've never been down to this area. I don't know where I am. I'm just kind of riding around. I figure at worst case, I'll find myself somewhere and I can GPS myself back to get back. So, but yeah, let's take a look at some of the properties around here. Here's a nice one on the corner here. Right ahead. Wow, that's a nice looking house. They have some nice buildings out here. I think that has to be a house that was redone, because if you look at the rest of the houses in this neighborhood, it does not look anywhere like these houses. Not that these houses are not good, I'm just saying that that one really stands out. So, do you guys do this? Do you guys go and ride the neighborhoods just to see what's out there? Sometimes I do that. You know, when I'm not recording, I'll just ride around the neighborhoods just to see what's out. Alrighty. So yeah, early in the morning, obviously the sun is a certain angle. Yeah, it could be bad. Let's go this way. Yeah, if you're facing directly into the sun, obviously it's not bad. It's not good for your eyes, but of course with the camera, it's even worse for the camera. But sometimes you got to go in a certain direction to get to places, right? So you got no choice. And again, like I said, I'm doing early morning simply because it's going to be extremely hot today. If I don't get out there early, I don't get out there at all. And I'm just lucky that I'm able to actually ride during times that, you know, other people may not really be able to because they got to go off to work. It's one advantage of being retired, I guess. Oh, here's an interesting story for you. Let me tell you a story. So anyways, I was going to go to the bank. Okay, let's head back this way here. I was going to go to the bank, open up a separate account so I can deposit any monies that Russ's Right generates into that one account, not to commingle any of the monies with personal funds and things like that. But you might know that some banks have had some challenges since the pandemic, let's put it that way. Yeah, they lost a lot of employees, and then they've even closed various bank branches temporarily, they say. I don't know if they'll ever reopen them, but they don't have the manpower to run all the bank branches. So anyways, the branch that I went to had been closed for, I don't know, a year or two? I have no idea. It's a long time. They finally reopened it. And I went in there to set up this account. Well, first off, I didn't realize that you have to make an appointment to set up the account, because usually there's enough bankers there that you walk in and they take you right away and they do what they need to do. But there was only one banker there to do that. And she says, no, I have to go on an appointment basis based on the fact that they didn't have enough people anymore. So I asked her when the next appointment time was, and of course it was an hour, because she was waiting for one appointment to show up. So I took that 1 hour appointment. So, of course, That would mean I've got to do something for an hour. So Costco wasn't that far away, so I decided to drive to Costco and get a hot dog. I told you guys that I wasn't going to do that anymore, but seeing that I had an hour to kill, let's go this way. Had an hour to kill. That's just, I'm not going to stay outside in the car. It's too hot. So, yeah, I went to Costco and killed an hour by eating a hot dog and then sitting there and answering Russ's right comments. So I went during my appointment time to set up my account. And of course, the lady asked me what I did, and I told her I was retired. But I do have this YouTube channel, and she got really interested. So she said, "You're the first influencer person that I've ever run across." We both thought it was kind of funny being called an influencer, but that's what they call you. They call you an influencer. And yeah, I said, yeah, that is kind of a funny name to call something, you know. I don't think I influence people that much, but maybe I do. I don't know. So anyways, we were talking about it, and she was interesting to talk to, and she said that she would be watching Russ's Right to see what I look like on camera and stuff, and how my videos look like. Later on, the branch manager came over to say hello, and of course, she told her what I did, and she got real interested. She said that her husband had purchased a whole bunch of stuff for her to do some type of YouTube channel, but she's never done anything with it. So it sounds like she's got lights and cameras and everything, and she never did anything. So I told her a little bit about how the YouTube thing works, and I said that, you know, you're not going to get instant success. It takes a while. Let me get a swig of water here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I said it takes a while, and that I had been running my YouTube channel for 3 years. And it was only this year that things really started taking off for my channel, even though the channel was almost 3 years old before all that happened. I mean, I got monetized 2 years in with about 1,000 people. You need at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewable hours, meaning within a year's time, not from when you started the channel. It's from one 365-day calendar year. They've got to see 4,000 of hours of viewing time and at least 1,000 subscribers. And that 1,000 subscribers can, of course, be, you know, through the entire time that you've been running YouTube. It doesn't mean 1 year. So anyways, so I said, you don't get instant success, and then once you get monetized, then that means essentially that advertisements will be paid to the YouTuber. Advertising money, that is. So they asked me how much that is, and I believe, don't quote me, you have to look it up on YouTube yourself if you want to become a YouTuber. I believe it's something like 60% of the money of the advertisement goes to the YouTuber and 40% of it goes to YouTube. Something like that. I don't know. I really don't pay that much attention to it, but it's something like that. So yeah, we make a little bit more than YouTube makes when they charge the advertiser. That doesn't mean that ads don't run on YouTube even if you're not monetized. I think they started doing it where even if you're not a monetized YouTuber, YouTube still runs ads, I believe. I think they figured out that if they ran the ads anyways, then YouTube gets 100% of the money. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think they figured that out. So I think almost anything that you do now, anything that you watch, has ads running on them. So you might as well try to make the money too, but that means you have to have subscribers and all sorts of things. So yeah, it took 2 years just to even get 1,000 people for me, and then I'm slowing down here because I'm trying to decide what to do here. Yeah, okay, we're not going to go on this street. We're going to turn around. Make sure there's no cars. Yeah, I don't do U-turns. I just hop off and inch my way around and turn it, because I found U-turns on a big fat tire bikes kind of hard sometimes, and you can easily fall if you're not careful. So easier just to stop, hop off, turn yourself around, and then continue again. So yeah, I told her it's gonna take a while. Yeah, Russ is right. Actually started taking off. I think because until YouTube pushes your video somehow, where a lot of people get to see it, people don't know you exist, right? I mean, you can put things up on YouTube, nobody knows you exist. They're not going to be watching your video. I mean, you could tell all your friends, but how many friends do you have? You got 1,000 friends, and then you're up and running. But if you don't have 1,000 friends who are willing to subscribe and watch the video, subscribing doesn't mean anything. You've got to have 4,000 hours of viewing time. If they're willing to do that for you, then you're up and running quickly. But if they're not, yeah, it could take you a while. So anyway, she says, I guess I won't be doing YouTube, because she says that sounds like a lot of effort. And yeah, it is a lot of effort. You got to make videos. You got to be consistent. Russ is right. Comes out with a video every day. Well, except for Sundays now. We don't do the food stuff now. No food reviews until I lose some weight, right? So yeah, it was a little too much. She said that's why she couldn't even get herself started in it. And she wanted to know what my stats were, so I told her. I said, we were just shy of 8,000 subscribers. By the time you see this video, we will be at 8,000 subscribers. In fact, this morning when I woke up, I looked at our subscriber count. We're 11 people shy of 8,000. So, and so she asked me what my viewable hours were, and I said over 100,000 hours of viewing time has happened on Russ is Right. She goes, wow. She goes, how many views is that? And our stats show over 1 million views at this point. So even though Russ is Right is still relatively a small channel at 8,000 subscribers, it has a lot of views and it has a lot of viewing hours. And I think that's because I do output a lot of content. The content is not short. It's usually pretty long because, even like this video, look how long this video is. Many of you actually watched the whole thing, which I appreciate. Because we just ride and talk, It's just like a daily get up early in the morning and watch me ride and talk. And we talk about various things. So I told her if you're a good communicator, if you can talk, if you have interesting things to tell, if you're an interesting personality, you can make it on YouTube. So she said, yeah, I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know whether I have all those qualities. Here's an interesting thing. There's been channels that I've been watching for a while, and they add another person to that channel. Maybe their wife, their fiance, their girlfriend, whatever, decides to come on top of that channel and help out and get on camera. And so I'll watch this, and I'll watch the second person that they bring on, and they're always awkward. They don't look good on camera. They don't talk well on camera. They don't they're uncomfortable. You can see it, but over time, they all get better. Yeah, they do. They all get better. Oh, here's a really nice looking house. And let me angle this camera a little bit. Yeah, there's some really nice looking houses out here. Yeah, those are houses, of course, like I said, are probably they've probably tore down the property and put another house on it. So yeah, it's not like if you're if you never did it before. I mean, I never did it before. I didn't feel I was going to be good on camera, but people tell me I am, and you know. But I was a teacher for 8 years, teaching digital photography, so my communication skills were up there. I was an expert witness on the stand for forensic work, for law enforcement work, for years, and so, you know, you build up that ability to communicate. I worked in sales for many years. You know, 8 years when I first got out of college. I worked at my dad's stereo store selling stereo equipment. So yeah, you eventually get better at communicating. Let's go straight. I don't know where this goes, but let's go straight. So yeah, I've noticed that people who want to get into it are really awkward when they start, but they do get a lot better at it. So let me encourage you guys, if you're thinking of your own YouTube channels, because I know a number of you guys are, a number of you have expressed interest to me that, you know, you have an interest in it. A number of you guys have asked me about my equipment. A lot of questions about equipment, right? There is 2 videos out there specifically about my equipment and how to get involved with YouTube using it. So just search Russ is Right, and you'll find it. It was probably done within the last 3 or 4 months. So if you went back on the video, just look back through it, look at the titles, you'll find something about, you know, so you want to be a YouTuber, something like that. I don't know what it was called, I can't remember. And then there's another one that talks about how I use the audio recorder, external audio recorder, and how I synchronize that audio with my camera, because it's not connected. You have to do it with software. So you got to know some things. You got to know a little bit about video editing and things like that. But you can learn that stuff. So anyways, that was the interesting story, going to the bank and running into 2 people that had interest in what I did and how that all works and everything. Alright, I think we've talked enough for this video. I'm going to cut it off. I'll continue on. Our next video will be a continuation, obviously, of this ride. But I'm just riding around this neighborhood. I don't know really where I am. I believe I'm in Arlington Heights right now. But I'm just riding around. I have no idea where or what I'm doing. I'm just kind of riding and talking. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I appreciate all of you guys doing that. I'll talk to you guys next time.